Man United injury news, Mason Mount, Matthijs de Ligt and Patrick Dorgu latest updates. United Daily Updates. Welcome to United Daily Updates. Hey and welcome back to United Daily Updates. If you are here for the first time, we are genuinely happy to have you. This is the home of everything Manchester United. From match previews and injury updates to transfer rumours and squad news, we cover it all and we cover it every single day. And before we get into today's topic, we just want to take a quick moment to point you in the direction of our YouTube channel. If you have not already subscribed, please go and do that right now. Our YouTube channel is one of the most trusted sources for Man United news and analysis you will find anywhere. Thousands of United fans already rely on us to stay up to date, and we work really hard to make sure every single video is worth your time. Just search United Daily Updates on YouTube, hit subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss an update. We really appreciate every single person who supports the channel, and we would love for you to be part of our growing community. Now, with that said, let us get into today's topic because there is a lot to unpack and United fans genuinely need to hear this. A big week for Manchester United and their injury situation. If you have been following Manchester United closely over the past few weeks, you will know that the injury situation has been one of the biggest talking points around the club. Players have been missing, fans have been anxious, and the same questions keep coming up again and again. When are they coming back? How serious are the injuries really? Will United be anywhere near full strength for the important games coming up? Well, today we are going to answer all of those questions in full. We are going to go through the three main injury concerns at Manchester United right now, break each one down in a way that is easy to understand, and give you everything you need to know heading into a very important week for the club. The three players in question are Mason Mount, Matthijs de Ligt, and Patrick Dorgu. Three very different situations, three very different timelines, but all three of them massively important to what United are trying to achieve this season. So settle in and let us get into it. And as you read through, keep one question in your mind the whole time. Which of these three players do you think United miss the most right now? We will come back to that at the end, and we genuinely want to know what you think. Mason Mount, the one who is almost back. Let us start with the most positive piece of news, and that is the situation surrounding Mason Mount. Mount has been absent for the last few games, sitting out with what has been described as a minor injury. The club has not revealed exactly what the problem is, which is pretty standard practice. Clubs often keep those details private to protect their players and to avoid giving opponents any useful information. But what we do know is that the injury has been enough to rule him out of 3 consecutive matches. Mount missed the West Ham game, and he also sat out the wins over Tottenham and Fulham. 3 matches in a row without one of United's more creative players in the squad, and while the team did manage to get some good results in that time, you can only imagine how different things might have looked with a fully fit Mount contributing his quality and intelligence to the team. He is the kind of player who can change the way a game flows, find passes that others do not even see, and create chances seemingly out of thin air. But here is the bit that United fans have been waiting to hear. Manager Michael Carrick has been very positive when speaking about Mount's recovery. In his most recent update, Carrick gave fans genuine hope by confirming that Mount should be available for the Everton match on Monday night at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. He was quite direct about it too. His exact words were, "Definitely going into the Everton game, he will be back." That is about as clear a message as you will get from a manager, and it tells you that the people inside the club are confident about this one. At the time of writing, Mount is still going through his assessments with the United training staff ahead of the Everton match, but everything seems to be pointing in the right direction. He is expected to be available for selection on Monday night, and that is a really exciting prospect for United fans who have been watching the midfield miss his presence over the last few weeks. The reason this matters so much is not hard to explain. Mount is a technically gifted midfielder who sees the game at a different level to most players. He finds passes in tight spaces, he creates chances for his teammates, he presses intelligently without the ball, and he has the ability to score important goals when the team needs them. When he is fit and playing with confidence, the team just looks and feels different. There is a fluency and creativity to United's play that becomes harder to find without him. The Everton game is a big one in terms of the league table and United's push for the top 4, and having Mount available gives them a much better chance of taking something from it. Here is something we want to put to you though. If Mount does come back for Monday night, do you think Carrick should throw him straight back into the starting 11, or would it be smarter to ease him back in from the bench? It is a genuinely interesting debate. On one hand, United need his quality from the start. On the other hand, rushing a player back from injury and burning him out too quickly is always a risk. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know where you stand on that one. His expected return date is Monday the 23rd of February away at Everton at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Matthijs de Ligt, the absence that has gone on far too long. Now we come to Matthijs de Ligt, and this one is a situation that has been dragging on for far too long for the liking of United fans. The Dutch centre-back has been out of action since early December, which means we are now talking about well over 2 months without one of United's most important defenders. And the reason for that lengthy absence is a lower back injury that turned out to be far more serious than anyone initially anticipated. When the injury first happened, the initial reaction was cautious optimism. Back injuries vary enormously in their severity, and at the start it seemed possible that de Ligt might only miss a handful of games before returning. But as the weeks passed, it became clear that things were not moving as quickly as hoped. The injury proved more complex than first thought, and de Ligt has had to take a careful and patient approach to his recovery to make sure he comes back properly and does not risk making things worse down the line. For United fans, losing de Ligt for this long has been one of the most difficult aspects of the season. He is not just a good defender. He is a commanding, authoritative centre-back who makes everything around him better. He is physically powerful, dominant in the air, excellent at reading the game before it happens, and composed under pressure. When he is fit and playing, he organises the backline, he communicates clearly with his teammates, and he brings a level of experience and assurance that you can only develop from playing in the biggest games over many years. There have been moments during his absence where United's defence has looked uncertain, and in many of those moments you find yourself thinking that de Ligt would have dealt with that situation differently. His presence is the kind that changes the dynamic of the whole team, not just the back four. Strikers think twice before running at a defence that has de Ligt in it. That is the kind of impact he has. So what is the latest on his comeback? The news is cautiously positive. Carrick has confirmed that de Ligt is getting closer to a return, and there is actually a chance he could feature against Everton on Monday. If that were to happen, alongside the expected return of Mount, it would be an absolutely enormous boost for the squad and for the mood around the club. 2 key players coming back in the same game would change the feel of things completely. However, Carrick has also been careful to manage expectations around de Ligt specifically. He made it clear that de Ligt is behind Mount in terms of where he is in his recovery. While Mount looks set to be available, de Ligt is more of a doubt for Monday. Carrick said in his press conference, "Matter, the Everton game feels like a long time away at the moment, so we will see how he develops, but he is positive. He is moving in the right direction, but Mason is a little bit closer than him." What we can take from those words is really important. De Ligt's mentality is in the right place. He is working hard, he is making progress, and the direction of travel is positive. But whether he makes it for Monday night is still uncertain, and a lot will come down to how he responds over the coming days of training and assessment. It is also worth pausing to think about the nature of back injuries and why United have to be so careful with this one. The back is involved in virtually every movement a footballer makes on the pitch. Jumping, turning, sprinting, tackling, heading the ball, everything puts some kind of load on the back. Rushing a player back from a serious back injury can lead to a much longer absence further down the line, and United simply cannot afford to lose de Ligt again after he eventually returns. Getting this right matters more than getting it done quickly. Here is the question we want to put to you on this one. If de Ligt is not quite fit enough for the Everton game, should United be patient and wait until he is truly 100% ready, or should they try to get him back on the pitch as soon as possible given how much the team needs him at the back? It is a real tension that Carrick is navigating, and it is the kind of call that defines a manager's season. What would you do? Let us know in the comments section. His expected return date is possibly Monday the 23rd of February away at Everton, though this has not yet been confirmed. We will bring you further updates as soon as there is more news from the club. Patrick Dorgu, the injury that hurt United the most. And now we come to Patrick Dorgu, and this is the update that is probably the most painful to talk about for any United fan who has been paying close attention this season. Because Dorgu's injury did not just take a good player out of the squad. It stopped something genuinely exciting from developing, right at the moment when things were starting to really come together. Dorgu suffered a hamstring injury during United's win over Arsenal in late December, and the timing of it was about as cruel as it gets. Here is the context you need to fully understand why this one hurt so much. Under Michael Carrick, Dorgu had been given a very specific and very important role in the United attack. Rather than being used in a more restricted or defensive position, Carrick had done something smart. He had identified that Dorgu could be most effective when given the freedom to play as an attacking winger, and the results of that decision were really something to behold. In that role, Dorgu was brilliant. He was direct, he was brave, he was quick, and he was always looking to take defenders on and make things happen. He brought an unpredictability to United's attack that defenses struggled to deal with. Opponents did not know how to contain him, and that created space and opportunities for the other players around him too. He was genuinely exciting to watch, and it really did feel like United had discovered something special in how to use him. And Carrick deserves real credit for working that out and putting it into practice. Then the hamstring went during the Arsenal game. And just like that, one of the most promising developments of the entire United season was put on pause. It was a real blow, not just for Dorgu personally, but for the team, for the manager, and for the fans who had been genuinely enjoying watching him play. The current expectation is that Dorgu will be back next month, meaning we are looking at a return somewhere in March. The hope within the club is that he can be fit and available for the run-in, which is the phase of the season when every match becomes absolutely critical. United are fighting hard to finish in the top 4 and secure Champions League football for next season, and that battle is going to go right down to the wire. Having Dorgu back and in good form for those final weeks could make a really significant difference. Champions League qualification is not just a football ambition for United. It is a financial and strategic necessity. The revenue that comes from Champions League football, the prestige it brings, the ability to attract better players in the transfer market, all of it depends on finishing in that top 4. So every player matters, every game matters, and Dorgu's return is one of the things United are counting on to help them get over the line. The one frustration around this particular situation is that there has been no recent update from Carrick on how Dorgu's recovery is actually progressing. The last time the manager spoke specifically about the injury was back in January, right around the time it happened. Since then, the club has been quiet on the subject, which leaves fans without a clear picture of where things stand. That uncertainty is not ideal, but it is something we have to be patient with. The moment there is any news, United Daily Updates will be across it immediately and bringing it to you. When you really think about what Dorgu gives this United team at his best, it makes his absence even more significant. He is a player who can do something that very few others in the squad can consistently do, and that is to beat defenders one-on-one at pace and in high-pressure situations. That kind of directness is incredibly valuable in modern football. It creates havoc for opposition defenses, it draws fouls and creates set pieces, and it opens up space for others to exploit. When he is playing in that attacking winger role and in his best form, United look like a team with a completely different attacking dimension. Now here is the big question we really want to hear from you on. Of the 3 players we have discussed today in this article, Mason Mount, Matthijs de Ligt, and Patrick Dorgu, which one do you honestly believe United missed the most? Is it Mount and the creative intelligence he brings to the midfield? Is it de Ligt and the composure, leadership, and defensive quality he provides at the back? Or is it Dorgu and the raw excitement, pace, and directness he brings in attack? All 3 cases are genuinely strong, and this is the kind of debate that the United Daily Updates community does really well. So get in the comments and let us hear it. His expected return date is sometime in March 2025, with the aim of being involved in United's crucial run-in. What this all means for United going forward. When you zoom out and look at all 3 of these injury situations side by side, it gives you a real sense of just how much Carrick has been managing this season in terms of player availability. Losing a top centre-back for the better part of 3 months, watching a rising attacking talent get hurt at the worst possible time, and trying to keep a creative midfielder fit and available throughout the campaign. That is a genuine challenge for any manager, and it would have tested even the most experienced coaches in the game. But here is what makes this United story interesting. The team has kept going. They have picked up results. They have beaten teams like Tottenham and Fulham even without some of their most important players. That shows real character in the squad and real quality in Carrick's management. It tells you that this is a team with depth and resilience, and that the culture being built inside the club is a positive one. Players have stepped up when called upon, and that is not something you can take for granted. However, the final stretch of the season is where everything is going to be decided, and United are going to need everyone fit and firing to make it happen. The games will come quickly, the opposition will be tough, and margins will be razor thin. That is why the returns of Mount, de Ligt, and Dorgu matter so much. If all 3 can come back healthy and hit the ground running, United squad looks significantly stronger and better equipped to handle what is coming. If the injuries drag on or new ones crop up, it becomes a much harder task. The next few weeks are going to tell us a lot about where this United season is headed. Monday night against Everton is the next major test, and it could also be the night we see some of these players walking back out onto the pitch in a United shirt. Make sure you are keeping up with United Daily Updates for all the latest news as it develops. To wrap it all up. So there you have it. Everything you need to know about the 3 biggest injury situations at Manchester United right now, all in one place. Mason Mount has been out with a minor but undisclosed injury and has missed the West Ham, Tottenham and Fulham games. The good news is that he is expected to be available for the Everton match on Monday the 23rd of February at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Carrick has been very encouraging in his press conference comments and has effectively confirmed that Mount will be back. He is being assessed by the training staff but selection is expected. Matthijs de Ligt has been absent since early December with a lower back injury that proved more serious than initially feared. He is making progress and is being assessed, and there is a possibility he could feature against Everton. However, Carrick has been clear that he is behind Mount in his recovery, so while there is hope, his return for Monday is not yet confirmed. Patrick Dorgu picked up a hamstring injury during the Arsenal win in late December and is currently targeting a return next month. The hope is that he will be fit and ready to contribute during the run-in as United push for Champions League qualification. There has not been a recent public update from Carrick on his progress, but the plan remains for a return in March. These are three players who matter enormously to Manchester United, and getting them all back fit and available is going to be crucial to how this season ends up. We will continue to follow all three situations closely and bring you every update as soon as it is available. As always, thank you so much for reading. If you found this useful, please share it with a fellow United fan who needs to know what is going on. And do not forget to head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe if you have not already done so. United Daily Updates is the place to be for everything Man United, and we are not going anywhere. Drop your comments below and tell us which of these three players you think United need back the most. And let us know your thoughts on how you see the rest of the season playing out. We read every single comment and we genuinely love hearing from the community. Come on United!